You have 5 senses of knowledge. You have 5 senses of action. How many? 10. How many? 10. Now these are constituent of which body? Subtle body. And know this subtle body is not you. Hence these 10 organs are not you. Know this, you are not this gross body. 50, 60, 80 years ago, this body was not there. And in few years, this body will go into death. It will go into the unmanifested. How unmanifested? Well, in the Hindu, Sikh, Jaina, Buddha, the Buddhist, whenever anybody dies, what we do? We burn them in a funeral pyre. So in a few hours, the body is into ashes, right? Person might be of 80, 90 kilograms, and then the ashes might be of just maybe 1 kilogram. Where did the rest of the stuff go? Burned. Vaporized. So on the next day, as it is customary in India, whatever remains, small bones pieces are collected by the family, and they will go to Haridwar and put it in the Ganga after doing some ritualistic worship. Some Sikhs do it in the river in Punjab itself. Most of the Hindus like to do it either in Ganga, but some also do it in Kaveri, and some also do it in Yamuna too. But ideally speaking, they prefer either Kaveri or Godavari, and in north it is Ganga, so they'll take the... Now once you have poured those ashes into the Ganga, the ashes have become one with the Ganga, the water of the Ganga, and the Ganga is flowing in the plains. And then the farmers make canals. They use the Ganga water to water their farmlands. So that bones and the ashes will end up in some farmland where sugarcane is growing, or wheat is growing, or rice is growing, or vegetables are growing, or fruits are growing. So that gross body has now become one with the water, and the water has gone into those plants or crops. And when these crops will mature, fruits will ripen, vegetables are ready, those will be plucked, comes to the market, people will buy, bring it home, cook and eat. That dead body, manifested body, when burnt, became into smaller parts, went into the water. Then you can't say, where is your maternal, your mom or your dad whom ashes you have immersed? Can you find out? Because the Ganga's water is rushing. And then that water went into the farmlands. So you can say your daddy is now growing in a sugarcane, as a sugarcane, or as a wheat, or as an apple, or as a mango, or a lychee, or something. The farm has changed. The farm has changed. It became subtler and subtler and subtler, and then changed into the crop. And then that crop was eaten. Now every crop has one thing which we call the rasa. Every vegetable, fruit, has one thing which we call the nectar, the rasa of that fruit or vegetable or wheat or rice or whatsoever. So when you consume that, that rasa is absorbed in your body. And then you say, this is me. Is this me, or is it wheat and rice and water of Ganga? See, beautiful interfusion of the elements is happening. When you say this grass body is me, this is the biggest stupidity or a jnana or an ignorant statement to say this, I am this body. You are not. This body got formed, grew, matured, weathered, then died, then turned into ashes. But you are one who existed much before this grass body was created, manifested. So body got a birth and the body got the death. It's not me. Hence I can say, me, the Atma, is neither born nor will die. But who will die? Who will die? Body. And who will not die? Remember this. Who will die? The body. And who will not die? It's you. Don't say Atma. Because the moment sometimes, Atma, something called Atma is living in us. No. It's you. When you combine this self with the body, meaning the self plus body, and you create a new I, this new I is the unreal self. I am born, I will die. When you say this, you have brought the gross body into yourself, and you are confusing the body as me. Body is a baby, then a body is a teenager, then body is matured, then body is old. But you can convincingly say, you are neither the baby, nor the teenager, nor the matured, middle-aged, nor the old. Okay. And you can also say, I'm neither man, nor a woman, nor in between. Transvites, transgenders, Who are you? I met a girl in Washington. She was saying that her professor is a transvite. So someday when we go, is a woman, dressed like a woman, and someday we go, is dressed like a man. So we don't know whether to address he or she, ma'am or sir. That's why I'm saying man, woman, or transvite. One time a gentleman said to my disciple, a male disciple, that in our ashram, a woman cannot sit on the Vyasa seat, the Guru Gaddi, to speak or to lecture. Because our Gurudev was a celibate, was a brahmachari, hence on his seat no women can sit. So it was a great, issue. Because my disciples wanted me to go and address, and that venue was chosen. And those people were saying, well, she cannot come because she's she. I said, I don't mind. If they don't like, I won't go. But I have a question. Please get the answer. If their guru was a Vedantist, how come he was so much obsessed with the he and the she? Because the very first step of Vedanta says, I am not body. This means I am neither man nor woman, nor otherwise. So from where does this question of he or she arise? Why the mind is still so obsessed about the genitals, the gender, the body? Unfortunately, the Guru was not alive. Otherwise, I would have sent him invite to come and get some jnana, some knowledge. He definitely needed that. It's very different to repeat the Vedantic Sanskrit shlokas and remember and memorize all that. And it's a very different thing to experience and encounter the reality of self. Two different things. I am not gross body. I am different from gross body. Say this, please. I am not the senses of knowledge, and I am different from the sense of knowledge, the Gyanindri. I am not the Karamindri, the sense of action, and I am different from the senses of action. Moving on. Prana, the 5 vital energy forces. Pran, Udan, Vayan, Saman, and Apan. If you see this diagram, it will give you some idea about how this pranic energy functions in the body. The prana, if you see, is the arrow is moving upward, right? In the Udana, the arrow is moving again upward. The Vayana is like circulating in the whole body. The Samana is in the center of the body. And Apana is moving downward. So Prana and Udana upward. Vayana is circulating in whole body. Samana in the center. And Apana is the downward motion. Now let's move on to the next slide, the 5 pranas. The pranavayu, what's the location of the pranavayu? That's heart. What's the function responsible for breath inhalation and exhalation around the clock? See, you sleep. The sleep happens. But breathing is involuntary action. It is an involuntary action. That means the prana knows how to function. It is not using your advices. If it had been on your advice, you would be dead much before your actual time. Because you would have forget to breathe in or to expire. So the prana functions on its own. Location is heart. Apana vayu, the seat is anus. Function is carries out the excretion of urine and feces from the body. Now, it's not only urine and feces, let me say. When a mother delivers the baby, it is the function of the apana vayu. If mother's apana vayu is not functioning properly, then she will have difficulty in delivering the baby. There might be the breech baby, the upside down, the baby moves the position, or the baby isn't moving downward. Now that is happening because of the ill functioning of the apana vayu. When somebody's apana vayu get vitiated, then they will have trouble in urinating and also in excreting. Now, normally if somebody has problem like they can't urinate or they can't excrete, allopathy will work on symptomatic release and give the peristaltic movement for the urine or feces to go out by pushing in some chemicals. But yoga says, and Ayurveda says, correct your functioning of the Apana Vayu. So, when you do proper asanas, like Ashwasanchalan, like Halasan, like Mandukasan, like Janushirshasan, like Paschima Uttanasan, like Trikonasana, like Parshva Trikonasana, you are twisting your intestines. So all the twisting poses will keep your peristalsis movement happening correctly, because the asanas will have a great impact on your Apana Vayu. So you don't need magnesium sulfate or chemicals to induce bowel movement. You don't need medicines which help you to urinate. Yoga says correct your Apana Vayu. So a yogi works on Apana Vayu through asana, through pranayama. And Ayurveda will help on the physical aspect of the functioning. If there is some blockage, if there is some inflammation, then they'll use the herbs to cure the inflammation or remove the obstruction, so that you can have a free-flowing urine. You know, it's not a small thing that you can urinate. It's a very big thing. Ask those people who have a swollen prostate gland. Ask those people who have some kind of obstruction in their bladder or ureter. Oh, it's such a painful thing, they can't urinate. Those who have fissures, those who have piles, so difficult for them, to have that bowel. It's very painful for them. All these diseases occur because the Apana Vayu is vitiated. Samana Vayu, location is umbilicus, assimilates all nutrients from the food and through the channel of the nadis. Nadi doesn't mean nerve. Nadi means the flowing energy. You eat food. See, this is so beautiful. No? I wish maybe tomorrow I will use some maps and some body maps where you can see the food goes in through the mouth, through the food pipe, ends into your stomach. Then it moves, the food is churned in the stomach. Then it moves to the small intestine. Then the liver and the gallbladder are doing the function, releasing the biles. And then it moves further. All the assimilation of the nutrients happen in the small intestine, not in stomach. Once this assimilation has happened properly, then it is pushed towards the large intestine, the colon. Now, if your small intestine is not functioning properly, or should I say, if the Saman Vayu is not functioning properly, then you may eat the best of the foods, and yet you will lack nutrition. How many people in States, Canada, world over, even in India, are buying very expensive supplements? Very expensive supplement. They have supplement for everything. Oh, my magnesium is low. My iron is low. My calcium is low. So I eat this, eat that. All expensive stuff. Why can't you absorb all the nutrients from the food? Well, you are eating good. Maybe you were not eating good. Okay, let me give you an example. If you are low on calcium, then have sesame oil spoonful, empty stomach. If you are low on iron, then eat roasted gram with a piece of jaggery. Your hemoglobin will be so good. I have a 74-year-old woman, her blood work was done, and she has hemoglobin of 14.8. She's 74, 14.8. Many women have improved their hemoglobin by taking this advice. That's a roasted black gram, kala chana, with the piece of jaggery every day. A small bowl is enough. And you will have no deficiency of iron. You will have no deficiency of RBCs in your blood, in your system. Huh? So, if you eat good, but if your samana vayu is not functioning properly, you will be still lacking nutrients in your body. And supplements are expensive. So all of you have to be very smart. Improve your samana vayu. How? By doing Kapalbhati pranayam. See how they are interrelated, the ayurveda, the pranayam, the asana and your food. So if you do Kapalbhati pranayam or Agnisara pranayam, then whatever you will eat, your body will absorb it well. You will not lack in nutrients. Moving on, Udana Vayu, seat is throat. What does it do? Separates the ingested food and water and responsible for hiccups and dreams. Hiccups and dreams. Now, how the dreams are happening is an altogether a very different subject. This is not my subject for today. But still, just giving you a hint that you might learn so much, but yet there is so much more to learn. So don't be in a rush to call yourself an all-knowledgeable Jnani. Wait. Wait. Very passively. Patiently. Wait. Keep learning. Next prana is Vayan Vayu. That's its present is in entire body, and it regulates and controls all movements of limbs and joints in the body. Now this means, if your Vayan Vayu gets vitiated for one or another reason, you will have troubles of joints. If your Vayan Vayu is not functioning properly, then you will have very stiff joints and you will have trouble in moving your limbs. And if I go little deeper, then I would say, when the Prana Vayu and Vayan Vayu both get vitiated, maybe this will become a reason for many autoimmune disorders in the body. Like arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis. Like if your Samana Vayu gets vitiated along with Apana Vayu, then you will have many diseases like Crohn, like IBS. If you have trouble of your Prana Vayu and Udana Vayu, now see, these are very physical things happening in the body, but if they are not functioning properly, then you can have mind issues, the psychosomatic diseases of anxiety, depression, frustration. And if Udana Vayu gets too much vitiated, then one can end up in a mental asylum also. Now, see, this is, am I talking about something foreign? Or am I talking about your subtle body? So important.